Hello, everyone. Welcome to Everything Arsenal. It's Anfield. It's that time of the year where we travel to Anfield. Now, is this the most confident of being going to Anfield in the last 15 years? Yes, probably. There was a time where we used to go to Anfield and it was a case of keeping the score under 4 goals. Like there was a time we just went there, they would beat us 4-0, 5-1, 4-0. And a couple of them have actually been in December as well. I remember, was it like 2018 or 2019? I think 2018. We went there in December and they put 5 past us and we actually scored fast in that game. I remember Maitland-Niles. There's another time we went there, like I said, scored fast. They still beat us. They've beaten us a lot of times. And it's usually 3, 4, 5 goals. Under Klopp, we really struggled when we had Wenger, when we had Emre, and even when you had Ateta as well. It's never been easy going to Anfield. But this time we're going there a different team. Obviously, last season we were so close to ending that run of not winning until they scored around the 89th minute or something. This time around, I'm hoping if we have that kind of lead now, the likes of Saliba there, the likes of Declan Rice there, hopefully we can be able to keep the lead. But as I said, it is Liverpool this weekend. It's never the easiest fixtures. One of the fixtures that we usually look forward to, especially in terms of away. And there's always the Tottenham one, there's always the Liverpool one, there's always the Man City one these days as well. Games that we rarely win, but these days we always try to, end those bad runs. We've been able to end that poor run at Stamford Bridge. There's a time we went like 10 years without winning at Stamford Bridge. We've now done that. We've now gone to Tottenham and won as well. This season, we've now gone to Everton and won. There's still 2 teams that we haven't. Liverpool and Man City. We still haven't gone away to those teams and picked up a big result. Maybe this could be the time. Obviously, after they played against Man United last weekend, they were a bit low on confidence. They were absolutely bashing their players and all that. But obviously, they won by 5 goals in the Carabao Cup. They scored 5. They put 5 past West Ham, and they're very confident. You can see they have the attacking talent. The likes of Elliott has looked good recently. Jones is scoring goals. Salah is Diaz is Diaz. Hopefully, Jota is not back. He always scores against us. In like 6 or 7 goals against us since he came to Liverpool. But I'm confident for this one. Would I take a draw? I would. It's an away fixture. Usually away fixtures to these big teams and also in the Champions League away fixtures, I don't mind draws. If you go to FC Porto and you draw and then they come to your place, win. If you go to Man City and try to pick up a draw, that's a good result. You go to Liverpool and pick up a draw, that's a good result. Tottenham and all those guys. As long as when they come to your place, they don't have a chance of beating you. And I think we've already done that this season. We've beaten Man City, we've beaten Man United and those kind of teams. But Liverpool are always a threat. They're now second on the table. You're first on the table. By the time we play them, we could be second. They could be third. Aston Villa could be top. I'd like to know when was the last time that I think by the time we play, Aston Villa will be first. But I'd have loved to know like when was the last time Arsenal and Liverpool played, and one of them was first and the other one was second, even before Aston Villa played. I don't think it's been recently because last season we were doing great, but Liverpool weren't. The previous 2-3 seasons, they're the ones who were doing great, and we weren't anywhere near that as well. If you go back to 2008-9, I think maybe around that time was the last time like us and Liverpool were up there. I remember 2016, the time we were, kind of the third team after Tottenham and Leicester. I don't think Liverpool were there at all as well. If you go back to 2014, I think it could be 2014. I have a feeling it could be 2014, the time where they also beat us by another 5 goals. I think we were top of the table around December as well, but they smashed us. But this time, I'd like to imagine they wouldn't smash us. They always smashed us, but this time, even if they were to win, it would be 2-1. This season, the only games we've lost 1-0, 1-0, and 1-0, 1-0 in the Premier League, and obviously 2-1 in the Champions League as well. Let's ignore the West Ham game. But I'm confident for this one. Let's hope we can go out there and send a message. If you go to Liverpool and you pick up a win, you send a message. You send a message to Liverpool, you send a message to Man City, you send a message to the rest of the teams in the league, Aston Villa, Tottenham, and all of those guys. Because even if Liverpool lost 10 games in a row and Arsenal won 10 games in a row, people will still be like, no, I don't think Arsenal are going to... I don't think Arsenal are going to Liverpool and win. I don't think that will happen. But let's go there and prove them wrong. That's not the exact team that you're going to go there with, but you know what I mean. Let's go there and pick and if we score 2 goals this time at Anfield, I would be confident you're going to get a win. If we go then get 2 goals this time, you get the win. Last season, we scored 2 goals and you couldn't get the win. We did the same against West Ham and all those guys. We couldn't pick up a win. This time, if you go there and you score 2 goals, Liverpool are very capable of scoring, but with players like Declan Rice in that team, I'm very confident you can get the job done. Last season, we went there with Holding in defense. Saliba was not there. Declan Rice was not there. This time, they're there, both of them, and they're a massive part of our team. So hopefully, They can keep the likes of Nunes and Diaz and even Elliott and Jones quiet. I think we can win the midfield battle with Rice and Havertz playing really well right now, and Odegaard pressing, and Havertz, putting in the tackles, and Rice putting in interceptions in midfield and carrying the ball for us. Depending on who starts for Liverpool, tough to predict. I think McAllister is out, but Gravenberch could be back. Szoboszlai is always a threat. Jones, Elliott, whoever is going to start in midfield, I think we need to win that midfield battle. If Rice can keep a player like Szoboszlai quiet, they're both on the thumbnail. If he can keep him quiet, we have a huge chance. But there's two other battles that we really need to win, especially the one for Zinchenko and Salah. I'm not sure about winning that battle. We'll talk about that when we talk about what my team would be. But Zinchenko has to have the game of his life. If you mark out Salah from that game, I think you lock them off. They have other threats, but Salah is the one that obviously people are worried about because he's up against Zinchenko. Zinchenko is better attacking-wise than defensively. I don't think it's a calamity. There's a time Salah's come up against the likes of Tavares and he's absolutely dominated. Hopefully this time it doesn't actually happen like that, and hopefully we can end that poor run of not winning at Anfield since 2012. It's more than 10 years since we won then. It was Podolski and Cazorla's and Giroud's debut then. That's a long time ago. Van Persie had just left Arsenal like a couple of weeks before that. That's how long it had been. That's how long we've gone without winning at Anfield. We have come close a couple of times, like last season. We've played them several times, even in the Carabao Cup and FA Cup, but even then, we've gone there and scored 5 goals and still not won. We went there and scored and drew 5-5 with them in the Carabao Cup. We drew another game 0-0. But recently, I think the last 2 games we've played at Anfield, we've not lost. The one in the Carabao Cup, 2021, 2022, I think, we drew 0-0, if I'm not wrong, in the Carabao Cup, and then they beat us at our place. And then, obviously, last season we went there and drew 2-2. But we've not managed to win the game. A few draws here and there. We've had better performances recently, but we know Liverpool. They are very capable of, if you go there and you just walk around, they could score 6 past you. The last 2 games that they've played against West Ham and Man United, they've had like close to 70 shots. That's a lot. They had like 30-something against Man United and almost like 30 as well against, I think more than 30 shots in both games, if I'm not wrong. So if you don't watch out for them, they will test your goalkeeper, they will test your defense. But I'm very confident because we have the likes of Declan Rice and Saliba. So depending on how we approach it as well, will we approach it like Man United did the other day? I doubt. I expect us to press them and all that. But in terms of approaching the game like we did against Man City, that was a home game, and he just sat back and waited for the last 10 minutes to try and score. Could that be the same for this one? Will Liverpool be scared of Arsenal and Arsenal scared of Liverpool at the same time? Could be. There's still Arsenal fans who, are scared of Liverpool, and I've had Liverpool fans who are like a little bit worried about Arsenal as well. There are Liverpool fans who are very confident, the Arsenal fans who are very confident. But one thing is for sure, it's going to be a big game, and if you go to Anfield and you win, momentum. And if you go to Anfield and win, after also beating Man City this season, there's no team that I'll not be confident about beating. I'll be like, we've beaten Man City and beaten Liverpool this season, teams that we rarely beat. Bring on West Ham, bring on Fulham, bring all these guys. And remember, the next 2 months, you also have Liverpool at home in the FA Cup and the Premier League. So if you win this game, advantage in terms of your momentum, they'll be a bit even more wide when they come to the Emirates for the FA Cup and the league as well. So that will be huge. That will be absolutely huge. It will boost our confidence a lot, man. And how many points will we be ahead of City? Is it like 8 or something before they play? That's a lot. And that will mean like at least 4 or 5 points ahead of Liverpool too. That's a lot. Looking at Liverpool's fixtures, they have, I think, the likes of Burnley coming up. You'd expect them to win those fixtures. So if you finish with this game, you have a good run of fixtures, West Ham, Fulham, and all those guys coming up. I think up until you face Liverpool in February. So we need that momentum. We need it. We absolutely need it. So let's go there. Take our chances for sure. We can't have an Aston Villa kind of game where we have a lot of chances and we miss them. No, we can't have a game like Brighton where we create like 30 chances and we miss them and we wait to score in the second half. No, Liverpool are very capable of getting 2-3 past you before you even score. So you get a chance, score. No errors. The only reason you considered against Man United, error. The only reason you considered against Wolves, error. A lot of errors. If you can keep those errors out of our game, we will be okay. Against Brighton, we gave them one chance, they missed it. Maybe if we give that similar chance to Salah or Diaz, they will score it. So you need to be careful in terms of that. That's the defensive battle. In terms of the forward battle, Alexander-Arnold these days plays in midfield sometimes. Sometimes it's Gomez on the right as the right back. But if Martinelli can take advantage of whoever is playing there, whether it's Trent or Gomez, he usually has great games against Trent. Last season we went there, Martinelli and Jesus were absolutely incredible. We need the same. And this time, thankfully, we have a good defense that can hold out if we have a 2-goal lead. But which lineup would I go for in this one? This would be my lineup. In goal, it's obvious David Raya needs the game of his life as well. He's definitely going to be tested. I don't expect Liverpool to have 0 shots like Brighton had like until the 80th minute or something. Man City also had like 1 shot on target against us. 2 very good attacking teams that didn't test us a lot, but I would expect Liverpool to test us. Anfield is Anfield, and Klopp has asked them to, shout as much as they want, give as much energy as they can, so they will be on to us. But David Ryan goal hopefully can handle that pressure. Back 4 is very easy. Zinchenko, Gabriel, Saliba, Ben White. If Tomiyasu and Timber were there, I think Tomiyasu definitely starts against Liverpool. When he played against Salah at home last season, he marked him out of the game. He would have been better than Zinchenko in terms of defensively in this game. And then maybe second half, we bring on, maybe second half you bring on Zinchenko, or you have Zinchenko doing the job. If you get a goal or 2, then you can bring on Tomiyasu in the second half. But unfortunately, Tomiyasu is not there. So he'll really need to depend on Zinchenko for at least 70 minutes of this game, depending on whether he wants to bring Kivio. But let's see how Zinchenko does. Game of his life. Gabriel, Saliba, we all know the job that they need to do, the job they always do. And then Ben White as well up against Diaz, not an easy task. I think last game against Brighton, there's a time Saliba and Ben White switched just for Saliba to mark Mitoma and those guys on that wing, and Joao Pedro as well, and he did an excellent job. So could you also see that in this one? Let's wait and see. Midfield. If everyone was fit, I think many people would say Partey, Rice in this particular game. That's what you were thinking, like in these big games, we would have Partey and Rice. But Havertz is playing really well, even if Partey was fit. I don't think it's straightforward that he comes straight to the lineup. You'd bring him off the bench, but he is not there. So for me, the midfield stays the same: Rice, Odegaard, and Havertz. Havertz is used to these big occasions. Odegaard, especially last season, he was very good away at Tottenham, away at Newcastle. The games against Chelsea, he scored already this season against Man United. I think Odegaard can handle these big games. This season, maybe a couple that has been quiet, like against Chelsea away, but hopefully it turns up for this, because if it turns up, we're in a very good place, because he's one of the players that can pick out that pass to Martinelli and to Saka. Is the one player that can press them and push them to making mistakes at the back. Alisson sometimes gives away the ball. If Gomez is there, whoever is there, Konate, he can push them to making any errors in that midfield. And if he does, Saka, Martinelli, Jesus are onto it as well. So hopefully Odegaard turns up. And Declan Rice, probably the most important player in this game. We didn't have him last season. We have him this time. So maybe he's the difference for us to pick up a win or keep them out in this one. So Declan Rice, Havertz, and Odegaard in midfield. And then up front, 3 of the players that we all know about. The 2 of them, Martinelli and Jesus, they did incredibly well last season. Martinelli got a goal and an assist, and Jesus also got a goal. That one ahead, like past Van Dijk, like he actually jumped got away from Van Dijk and headed the ball in. So both of them will be very important. Jesus has been incredible the last couple of weeks. Martinelli a bit on and off the last few weeks, but I think all of them played really well against Brighton. So hopefully they can keep the same, but this time take their chances. So Jesus, Martinelli, Saka. On the bench, not as strong as we would want it to be, especially if someone like Jorginho is also out. I think we'll end up having a couple of youngsters, but this is the bench I think we'll go for. Ramsdale, Kivio, Cedric, Jorginho, Trossard, Smith, Nketiah, Nelson, and Walters. So I don't know. Hopefully Jorginho is fit, because if he's not there, we have to throw in another youngster on the bench, which is not ideal. In case you need control, players like Jorginho are going to help you, and Trossard and those guys. Thankfully, Smith Rowe is back, and hopefully, like if we need a goal, if we need pace or anything like that, hopefully you can trust someone like Nelson to also come on in this kind of game. So let's see how it goes. And also, if you look at Nketiah, obviously Jesus is far much better in this particular game. But if you need a goal, if you just need someone to run at the end, Nketiah scored before against Man United, against Chelsea, a couple of braces against those teams the last 1 year. Hopefully, if we need him, he can come on and do something for us. So that would be my lineup. My prediction, you'll find out very soon. So in fact, let's get the predictions right away. For the first game, Crystal Palace, Brighton, I've gone for Brighton to beat Crystal Palace 3-2. I've gone for Aston Villa to beat Sheffield 3-1, which means they will be top of the table. West Ham 3, Man United 2 is my prediction for that one. I've gone for Fulham 3, Burnley 1 in that one. Could easily be a clean sheet for Fulham. I've gone for Luton 1, Newcastle 1. Nottingham 1, Bournemouth 2. I think Nottingham have just changed the manager. They have changed the manager recently. Nuno has come in. But I think Bournemouth have been in very good form. And their last game was stopped in the middle. So I think they're a bit fresher. I've gone for Tottenham 1, Everton 1. A lot of draws this week. Anfield, Liverpool, Arsenal. What is my prediction? I'd gone for a 2-1, but I think it's going to be like last season. I think it's going to be a 2-2 draw. I'd be very happy with the win. There's a huge chance that we can win the game. Liverpool are still favorites according to the odds and everything. Liverpool are the favorites. But since they won 5-1 the other day, I think they're very capable of scoring goals, and we're very capable of scoring goals. I think it will be a 2-2, and I think both teams will be happy that 2-2 actually. Wolves 1, Chelsea 1 for the last one before Christmas, and then after that we look forward to the Boxing Day fixtures and a lot more other festive fixtures. But that's my prediction: Liverpool 2, Arsenal 2. I'm going to go for Gabriel Jesus to score again, and I'm going to go with Kai Havertz to score at Anfield this time. That would be big. But let me know your predictions. Let me know which starting lineup would you go for. Would you entertain having Kivia at left back? I guess better defensively, but left back has been a bit shaky. I've done a video about the Arsenal defense with Cozy. You can check it out. It's on the channel. I'll actually link it up. Make sure to check it out, talking about the Arsenal defense and which players are better for which kind of fixtures. But yeah, I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll catch up with you guys on the next one.